sports mascots. Let's talk about that when we come back. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant. Sports mascots. Recently, sports mascots, or at least one sports mascot, the Cleveland Indians, has been in the sports talking about, I guess, the issue of using American Indians as the sports mascot for the Cleveland Indians. There has been some protest about using Indians as the face of the Washington Redskins as well, and there have been a number of people who have protested the use of those particular Native Americans on those respective sports teams, and how they need to really eliminate them because of racial discrimination, as most people put it. Most recently, a sportscaster for ESPN, Bomani Jones, appeared on a show called Mike and Mike, which is an ESPN show that airs in the AM, which is sort of a simulcast television and radio broadcast. And he wore a shirt depicting Caucasians with a Caucasian face on the front of his shirt, which is sort of a depiction of the Cleveland Indians' Native American face as their mascot. There has been a company, I believe, I'm not sure if this company is from the United States or if it's in Canada, that has been producing these shirts as a way of sort of protesting the use of a Native American Indian as the mascot of the Cleveland Indians. And there have been a number of Native Americans in the United States as well as Canada who have been wearing this t-shirt as a silent way of protest. In Mr. Jones's words, he said he didn't wear the t-shirt to make people angry, and he wasn't angry about it, but what he was trying to do was kind of silently protest the use of Native Americans as mascots on and being the face of some professional sports teams. Now, once he wore this shirt with the words Caucasian on them and having a kind of a cartoon Caucasian face on his t-shirt, oh my God, his Twitter page blew up. There was some talk that even ESPN asked him to cover the shirt up. Now my question is, why, when it's a reverse situation that white America wants this covered up, they don't want to use a white face as a mascot for a particular team, but it's perfectly fine to use a Native American face as the face of a couple of particular franchises. But when you use a white face, oh my God, everybody's up in arms about that. You know, it's a problem. It's reverse racism. We can't do that. That's, not the American way. You don't flip the script on us and use our face to depict anything. And so you have to cover that up. You have to stop that. That blows up. But when people protested the fact that they would use a Native American as mascots, oh, we'll think about it. We'll discuss it in our board meetings. We'll, give it a look-see and see what we can do about it. There was no people up in arms about that. There was no big whoop-de-doo about that. And they didn't even, look at that as being a discriminatory type of practice. And so, again, it just goes to show you that the establishment always wants things to be their way. And as long as we keep our damn mouth shut about situations, especially racial situations, then everybody is cool. But the minute you start protesting about the injustices when it comes to the issues of race in this country, and the script gets flipped where Caucasians, white America, gets called on the carpet, then it becomes an issue. This thing is never going to change. No matter how you spin it, no matter how you flip it, it's never going to change. It rears its ugly face in politics, in sports, in economics, in everything that we deal with in this country. And in this particular situation, it's not even about black people. It's about Native American people who are also minorities in this country, who also continually get disrespected, who also are at the lower point of the totem pole. And because they don't make a whole lot of noise about issues that directly affect them, they kind of are the hidden minority that nobody gives a damn about. But when a situation like this that comes up in sports rears its ugly head, then all of a sudden it becomes an issue. But not a big issue, but an issue nevertheless. So, it's an issue of racism. I mean, I can't say it any other way. And people tend to think that when we talk racism is only about African Americans. It's not. It's about any minority group that gets and continually gets disrespected and not given an even kind of playing field to play on and get the same respect and get the same opportunities in this country that, privileged white America gets. And so this issue of mascots depicting people who feel like they're being racially discriminated against, it ain't going to change because those owners are white. Those owners have, dealt with those mascots forever, and they're making money, and people are still going to football games and baseball games, and they're not going to stop. And so as long as money is being made, and as long as those traditional trademark racist faces on franchises continue, then it ain't going to change. It ain't enough Native American Indians to protest the stopping of the Washington Redskins using that mascot, or the Cleveland Indians using that mascot. In the eyes of the owners of both those respective teams, y'all can go to hell, because I'm going to keep my team and I'm going to continue to do what I do. And I can care less about how you feel about that. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rant.